Hello and welcome to this micro training video from FMCG Academy. Simply pause on the screen if you want to read through the rest of this cover slide. Today we're going to talk about a CEO's simple guide to evaluating social media and other digital vehicles in the marketplace. So a number of them like Facebook, YouTube, and there are many more erupting as we speak. So I'm going to use the example of Anne, who's actually a friend of mine and is the CEO of a large consumer product business. Anne's business is in marginal growth. But at the same time, they are investing quite heavily into social media and the whole digital space. The conventional stuff is happening. All the money from television, etc., radio and print is transferring off to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google, obviously. Their consumer bonding and engagement scores, which they've been tracking for the last 6 years, are absolutely going through the roof. And they're very happy with that from a brand performance point of view. Revenue, on the other hand, for the business is kind of flat, I think. She believes it's in marginal growth, but I think it's kind of flat at this stage. Anne's been having a lot of meetings with the global marketing team, and every meeting she's sitting in is ending with a request for more dollars, more yen, more pounds, more euros and rupees into social and digital media. Anne reckons there has to be a better way to decide how much to invest in which social and digital vehicle. And also believes that the company needs a framework now to evaluate these opportunities, and it should be a simple framework, and she needs to link it back to the P&L so everyone understands the financial impact. And obviously, as I said earlier, it needs to be simple. She's been crunching some numbers, thinking about it, talking to a lot of people in various other departments, marketing included, and she's come up with this data. So research and data basically is 3% of their P&L, which is the learn part she believes is the learn part of the business. Communication is 12%, and that's the telling part of the business. And trade margins are about 32%, which helps support the selling part of the business, and that excludes the people costs. After a lot of thought, she's come up with a pretty simple framework, and she calls it the Learn, Tell, and Sell framework. Can't be simpler, LTS. 3 lenses to evaluate digital opportunities. So the same chart she shared earlier, which was learn, tell, and sell, those numbers there. Let's just park that in the corner and understand what she's talking about. So the learn part, she believes, are all digital vehicles that provide some learning about the consumer or shopper. Conventionally, this used to sit within research and insights, or business intelligence they used to call it. The second lens is the tell lens. So the tell part of the business used to be everything that sits like advertising, PR, sponsorship, but digital vehicles that help tell your message to the target audience. And that's about 12% of our cost. And believes these two are actually combining. While there are other consumer product businesses separating the learn part totally, building huge, massive insight engines and teams, she believes these are fusing because your television never talked back to you, but now Facebook, YouTube, and all these other digital properties are interactive. So the consumer, while you're telling the consumer also, you can learn a bit more about the consumer too. The third lens is the sell lens. So if there's a digital vehicle through which you can sell directly to the consumer, let's evaluate that and keep in mind what we are currently using in terms of, or costing us in terms of retailer and trade margins. Anne's also built up a brief little example. So she's just taken some common digital properties and in her own way plotted them on a graph, which is what she's comfortable with. So on the x-axis, which is the horizontal axis, she's plotted the learn side, and you can see Facebook is on a 9, YouTube's on a 4. She believes she can learn more from Facebook than from YouTube, but she can communicate and tell a lot more, which is on the y-axis, which is the vertical axis from YouTube. Amazon is quite large. You can see they're low on learn and tell, but the size of the bubble indicates the selling potential. And that is a simple framework she's trying to share and communicate to her team. She believes they're on the right path and they're heading in the right direction. I don't know what you think.